In today's gaming news, Origin lets you return games you don't like, Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls was announced, and The Elder Scrolls Online will cost you $15 a month. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Force here with your day's gaming news. First up today, have you recently purchased an EA game that you were unhappy with? Yes? Well, if that's the case, thanks to a brand new policy, within 24 hours of starting to play that game, you could return it. Games purchased via Origin are now supported by a limited-time Great Game Guarantee. Within 24 hours of launching a game, or 1 week after purchasing without activation, you can return any EA game for a full refund. So there's a couple of points I want to touch on here. Number one, this is specifically for EA-published titles. So if there are titles that you got through Origin that were not published by EA, they don't guarantee this Great Game Guarantee thing where you can return it within 24 hours of playing it. And they also have said, for those of you who are thinking, I can beat a game in 24 hours, I'm just gonna purchase something, beat it, and then return it. They're gonna monitor for jerks like you, because that's ridiculous. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's wrong. But if you really bought a game through Origin that was published by EA, and after playing for, say, 3 or 4 hours, you said, I don't like this so much, and you wanted to return it, it looks like you're going to have the option to do so. Now, the question then becomes, when they're monitoring for abuse, what's their cutoff? What if we've got a game with a 30-hour campaign, and you play it for 10 hours and then realize you don't like it? Will they say, you've played too much, sorry, you can't return it? It'll be interesting to see where they draw the line with that sort of thing, because I think that is really going to determine how people feel about this Great Game Guarantee policy. Next up in news, we have got an expansion for Diablo 3. The Reaper of Souls expansion introduces a new villain, Malthael, and will be set in the town of Westmarch. Along with the expected new environments, enemies, and loot, a brand new class is being added. The Crusader is a mid-ranged melee class equipped with abilities like Shield Bash and Falling Sword. A smart drop loot system will make for less frequent but more useful loot, and fully randomized endgame dungeons called loot runs are being added to the game. So this Reaper of Souls expansion was actually revealed at Gamescom during a press conference earlier today, quite earlier today. It was actually I think 5 in the morning when postings started going up on various websites. This is pretty exciting news. They've said a few things like they're going to try to make the game darker, they're trying to make improvements to the loot system. Essentially, there's going to be a lot less drops, and the drops are supposed to be more tailored towards your character. So depending on what class you're playing, the drops will more likely be something that you're actually interested in. That's rather unique. And then the fact that they're adding randomized dungeons that go on forever that you can just go into and grind loot, that's also a really cool concept. Will I go back and look at the game? Most certainly. Will I cover it as much as I did pre-Diablo 3 launch? Probably not, but if the expansion turns out great, maybe it'll be something that I play on a much more regular basis than I did the original D3. I put in about 100 hours and then I stopped. Could I put in more to the expansion? Who knows? Last up in news today, we will be talking once again about MMO subscription fees. It feels like we were just talking about this the other day, because we were. On Monday, we mentioned the fact that WildStar would be having a subscription/purchase in-game items to pay for a subscription model, something similar to what we see in EVE Online. Well, we've got information about the Elder Scrolls Online now. It looks like there will in fact be a monthly flat fee. In an interview with GameStar, when asked about the game's pricing model, ZeniMax Online's general manager Matt Fyror said, "We are going with the subscription model for ESO. Going with any other model meant that we would have to make sacrifices and changes we weren't willing to make. We'll talk about further discounts, etc. later, but for now, we are very happy to finally announce our model." So there it is, finally out on the table. Elder Scrolls Online will have a flat subscription fee, pretty much what we see in World of Warcraft, and that's pretty much about it right now in terms of MMOs that are charging a subscription fee. I think there's 1 or 2 more. I can't really recall right now. But yeah, we've got the Elder Scrolls Online and the World of Warcraft, both with a flat fee. Is this going to pay off, or is it going to turn out to be another Star Wars: The Old Republic? It's hard to say. I honestly can't say I'm surprised, given how big and how popular the Elder Scrolls franchise is. The fact that they feel like they can get away with charging a subscription fee makes sense. Beyond the whole super greedy corporation wanting to make as much money as possible thing, there's also the other aspect of subscription fees. Now, I personally prefer games that charge a subscription fee where everything within the game is included. There's no extra frills that you have to pay for. and it's just all there. You pay $15 a month, you have access to the same amount of content as everyone else. You don't have to worry about in-game shops possibly ruin the experience. Vanity items and stuff like that, I realize, cannot change the gameplay experience and can also be a way to make money. But frankly, I'm okay with this. I'm all right with this. I see the merits of a subscription fee system, and even if they are just doing it because of the greedy corporation reasons and wanting to squeeze as much money as possible until they have to switch to free-to-play, so be it. I'm okay with that model for now. I understand that some people are not, though, and I'd love you to voice your concerns below in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the fact that ESO will be charging a monthly fee. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of the show. As always, thank you so much for watching. Once again, this has been Force, and you have just been force-fed. These are all the things I need to talk about. You can't see it because, oh my God, the lighting. God, this camera's a mess. Look at this. Look at how the lighting adjusts so terribly. God, it makes me look worse than I do normally.